As for Miller, his progression has been 2 stoppages in the second round and then a 25-25 count-back victory over Michael Walchuk of Canada in the semi-finals. He's a southpaw. He's awkward to fight. He's a good-looking young fella. He's done a bit of modelling. And won't they go berserk when they introduce Stephen Birch from St Helens Town Amateur Boxing Club.
Bout number 202 is a 75-kilogram middleweight final contest between, in the red corner, representing England, Stephen Birch. And in the blue corner, representing Australia, Paul Miller.
And they've shown a lot of style, I've got to say, throughout this. There's the odd boo here and there, but the English fans have been fantastic here. Just for the record, Paul Miller is carrying a bit of an ankle injury, but they think he'll be fine. Miller fighting out of the southpaw stance, which means he leads with the right hand, and that can often make for a very difficult fight for their opposition. They can find it clumsy and awkward, not being able to just get a straight passage with their jab as they normally would. The answer can occasionally be to lead with your right, as Birch has just attempted to do there. Paul Miller, when he's feeling good and feeling confident, you'll see him drop those hands, be very loose in the shoulders, and he's a tremendously quick counter puncher. When he feels a bit tight, he boxes in a more traditional fashion with the hands held high throughout the fight, and not necessarily the greatest sign. Usually the reverse would be true, but that's Paul Miller, Mr. Magic, as they call him. Crowd beginning to chant for Birch. And again, Miller was able to avoid that combination, take it on the gloves. That punch got through, though, the right hand. Miller answers back with a combination of his own, and the left scored. Miller loves a man that'll come at him. So it's 3-1 Miller at the end of the first round. The Australian goes back to Bodo Andreas. There's Miller with that left hand scored early in the fight. Straight through with the right and then the left now on that occasion. He scored the left. 5 judges ringside.
Make sure you always get the last punch in.
Yep. Make sure you always get the last punch in. Always get the last punch as they break. Make sure you always counter. They know a bit about gold in the Miller family. His sister Gail, who's now married to Ben Tune, was part of the Australian women's water polo team that won in Sydney. A very important part. And Miller making Birch miss often. Spoke to some fans from St Helens who've come down here by bus to cheer on Steve Birch. They know it's a big task. Quite patient, Miller, which is more the way we've seen him fight in the past, but in a couple of his contests here, he was very aggressive from the start. As Birch gets the better of that exchange, and he's probably picked up another one there with the right hand. He has. Well, the lead has evaporated in the last couple of seconds of that second round. Very good round for the local from St Helens.
Come on, you've got to build on that now. You've got to warm to it. Don't go through the same channels of attack each time and get caught napping. Yeah. All right, get that front foot in range first, then a few backhands go, and then whip the left foot back again. Now, come on.
Come on, you're level.
Come on, you're coasting.
He's only 19.
You've got to work. You've got to work.
He's up against a much more experienced boxer. A couple of world championships under Miller's belt.
Don't let him settle. Get round him in and out, and then back at him. Change the pace. Sharper feet. Longer shots. Timing him right.
Come on. It's about pace. Come on, up that pace.
Yes, Miller was at the Olympics. He's been at 2 world championships, Goodwill Games. This is still far and away the biggest fight of his career. But for Birch, it's a remarkable step up in a very short period of time. That's good work from Miller. He answered but didn't score. Would have thought that right hand was good enough to score. And Birch has taken the lead for the first time in the fight. All scoring punches have to be above the belt and to the front or side of the head or body. And they have to be delivered with enough force for the judges to feel that they count. Doesn't matter if you knock a man down, though. It'll only count the same as a garden variety jab. Miller pulls one back. His movement doesn't appear to be too badly affected by that ankle. Either way, there's not going to be much in this going into the final round. But Paul Miller needs to lift now and get his nose back in front. That right hand should have scored. It did. Birch is simply throwing more punches at this stage. Miller's blocking most of them. He's been more economical and more efficient with his work. But that won't argue well for a countback, and we get to that point. It's 11 all at the end of the third.
Come on, you've got to get closer. You've got to be busier with more shots. You just slowed yourself down.
Please, all will be afraid. Will be afraid. You've got to crowd him a bit more. 2 minutes, bro. Be smart and take your hands up and in the center.
But Andreas asking him to keep those hands up, to be smart. It's a remarkable sporting family, actually. His older brother won an Australian swimming title. His two younger brothers have both played rugby for Queensland at junior level. And his sister Gail, I've already mentioned, an Olympic gold medalist.
Dominate the ring, mate.
Well, both boxers know the score. It comes down to this 2 minutes and a potential gold medal, and perhaps the greatest night in Commonwealth Games boxing history for Australia. And Miller's pegged a couple away. He'll like this. He'll like Birch coming at him and countering. He needs to stay busy, though. Birch is throwing a greater number of punches. If it does get to a count back, the individual scorecards, the individual cards for each of the 5 judges will be tallied. We've already seen Justin Kane win exactly that way, but now Miller is out to a 4-point lead. Our last middleweight champion and our only middleweight champion was Phil McElwain. A good right hand from Miller. Surprised the judges didn't score that. Perhaps they felt that it wasn't with the knuckle part of the glove. They scored that left, though. And a 5-point gap. You've got to think it'll be enough. It's already been a good career for Paul Miller. But will this be its defining moment? A good combination. Doing enough to keep Birch away from him and then covering up when Birch comes. The right hand was slipped by Birch just off the side of the face. That's his second warning for dropping his head. And he's pulled 6 points in front. Birch has got it back to 5. But that is a third gold medal to Australia. We started the day with 7 Commonwealth Games gold medalists in history, and then there were 10. Look at that left hand, and then doubled it up as well, just for good measure. Stephen Birch, there's big things for him ahead. A big step up to get through to a Commonwealth Games gold medal bout in your first major international competition.
The winner and Commonwealth middleweight champion with a score 20-14, representing Australia, Miller, their corner.
Understandably, some in the crowd are not delighted, but they'd be delighted in Brisbane. And gold is beginning to run in the family when it comes to the Millers. The sportsmanship between the boxers from all countries has been outstanding. As Paul Miller leaves the ring, Stephen Birch will collect a silver that in front of a very big crowd. Australia has had a historic day here in Manchester.
Yeah, it's a brilliant result for Australia. Paul Miller's gold, making it our most successful games ever in boxing.